Good evening. One new database created, many months of matches played, hundreds of transfers processed, and it all comes down to this. On what is my final night hosting as solo chair of the CMSL, I'm delighted to say we've made it to grand final day. We've got the first ever Shield grand final and then the main event, Northern Burn and East Coast. Battle it out for that star. One man's already had it. One man craves it. But who is going to get it? Before we invite tonight's panel on, of which I'm delighted to say we currently have 3 of 4 active managers tonight waiting in the wings. I just wanted to, because tonight really is about those managers. Can't believe you faked illness to get out of the Yes, I'm obviously faking illness. Evening, Ryan. I just wanted to say some words from me, basically just to thank everyone, from those who came before, from Alan to Boise to Martin and Ryan, for laying the groundwork for what's been an excellent, going to be 4 seasons by the end of tonight that I've been in charge. First one joint charge with Ryan, and then 3 on my own. Thank you to obviously the managers who haven't always necessarily agreed with everything I've done, but have always taken it in the spirit that I've done whatever I've done in the interest of keeping the Super League as entertaining and the peak of its content as best as I can. And for those who haven't even managed to get a job during my tenure, but very much deserve it for the fans along the way. No, Fyfie is not leaving to be the chairman of AFCON. For those who have just got involved because they love the game and love what it's about and love what we've done with it, thank you to you as well. My aim when I came in was to do what everyone else has done, really, and that was take what we had and hopefully make it better. And again, not everyone will agree with everything I've done, but I would like to think, and from the comments I've had with people over particularly last season or 2, we have developed the Super League into something bigger than it's ever been before, and hopefully better. And I'm sure that the board or the group or the committee or whatever they're going to be called, that are taking over after the World Cup that I streamed with Mike Savage, I'm sure they will continue to build on what we've got here and make it even better. This won't be the last you see of me, of course, but this is my last night in solo charge. And once again, from me, I just wanted to say thank you very much. But that's enough. No one really wants to hear from me, particularly when I'm not at my best. Let's say hello to tonight's panel, starting with the man who is looking to win the double tonight. Good evening, Rob.
So I'm just in the middle of cooking dinner. Good evening. Oh, yeah.
Yes, the early kickoff has sort of thrown a few people. But how are you feeling for tonight? Are you looking forward to hopefully becoming the first ever winner of the Shield?
I'm feeling excited, feeling aroused, feeling hungry. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to winning the Shield. That's all I can say, really.
Good. Well, delighted to have you join us.
Thank you, mate. Oh, just one thing, Steve.
Finals night. Yes, mate.
Just want to, I'll back it up, mate. Thanks for all your hard work. I know we're a bunch of cunts, but we do appreciate it.
I know you do.
And, thanks for keeping it going, mate. And long live the Super League.
Long live the Super League, indeed. What is for tea tonight? We've already had one question. Is it a pot noodle?
It's not. I am actually just having a cheese and ham toasty for my tea tonight. A textbook, a good Sunday night tea, isn't it?
Well, only if you've had a proper cooked lunch, I suppose.
Well, I had a big roast earlier.
Good lad. Good lad. Next, a man who has been through just about everything that is to experience in the Super League, but is still excessively nervous at every opportunity. Good evening from Burn HQ, Mr. Ian Edwards. How are you, pal?
I'm good, mate. Thank you. Yeah, I'd just like to carry on from what Rob was saying, from what you were saying. I think, it is a little bit of an end of an era. I probably blew enough smoke up your ass last night, but just to continue it, I would just like to say that, the level of professionalism you brought to these broadcasts, you're easily better than 99% of the guys who are getting paid a fortune to do it on telly day in, day out. And I think, we owe a massive debt to you for doing what you've done for all this time. And I say that from, one of the people who probably has voiced his opinion against everything you've had to say over the past however many times. And I'm glad to say that I'm probably the guy who's been proved wrong the most by the things that you've set in place that have worked an absolute treat. So I felt, I just have to do that. And Rob, if you ever do find out the name of the guy who's dragged you through that hedge backwards, let us know. I'll get him for you.
Already got comments coming in for you as well, Ian. Where's the waistcoat? It's the final and he's dressed down. Very moody lighting, Ian, as well, has come in. Rob is back. But that is not all we've got tonight, because we have a third guest ready. And it is another finalist who has swatted away any criticism and accusations of all sorts. The man who developed this version of the save for us all to enjoy. Grand finalist. Good evening, Mr. Dimble. How are you, buddy?
Good evening, mate. Good evening, everyone.
How are you,
Good evening, Dimble.
I made Maxim a bit too good, didn't I? I think that was the main problem.
You can't give the manager any credit for how good his players have been. He's just got to do it in this day and age.
We start tonight's action with the Shield final, Aster versus Triple P. I think we get straight into it, but what I'd like to know, and I'm going to skip Rob just for the minute, and I'll come to Dimble, as Ian had his say yesterday. How excited are you, sir, ahead of your final at the prospect of seeing the wheel one last time?
Not very excited. I'm not a big fan of the wheel, although it would be good to see Rob do it again. I wouldn't say that.
Just to win, be essentially the Greece of the Super League, not actually win any games, but win a trophy.
Yeah, exactly that. Greasy of the Super League.
So we've got, it wouldn't be the Super League without a little bit of controversy, and we have some controversy ahead of the Shield. Unknown to me until earlier when I logged in to do the teams, Mr. Savage's pack failed to send via Twitter, so he hadn't actually seen it. So I since sent it to him, and I've not heard from him. So he is going as was in the last game because I've simply not heard from him, which means, Ian, we're keeping this.
Did somebody not come out last night with the hashtag Bring Back Alf? And as much as this lad is a Burn alumni, are we already at that stage where we're saying, come on, Mike, what are you playing at?
Yes, because obviously to be a Super League manager, you have to be fixed to your DMs 24 hours a day and do nothing else with your life.
Of course we do. You got to live it, haven't you? We all live it. As I mentioned to you off air, like we go back to our normal lives and we try to explain this to people. And they look at us. You don't, Rob.
No, I don't know.
This
is my dirty little secret. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm going wrong.
Dimble, I'm going to ask you, not unknown to try a slightly different tactic from time to time. You've settled, obviously, in more recent times, but are you a fan of what Mike's done since coming in at Australia and then Aster with these weird and wonderful concoctions?
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Mike in general. I think he's probably still trying to figure out how to put 3 Ps into an 11. He's got the one big B, so we're still trying to do that. If we could do that for him, that'd be great, actually. Just put 3 Ps on there.
Somehow just make 3 Ps. Rob? Oh, no, Rob's gone. Never mind. We will... Oh, he's back.
Sorry.
With what you know now in terms of the setup of Aster, we'll come to your side in just a moment, but are you more confident of doing it in 90 minutes, or would you like to take it to the wheel again?
It makes no difference because we all know the wheel will decide. And Edwards can't wait for the wheel, can he? Look at him.
I know that you and your boys have been practicing the wheel all week in training.
Which, funnily enough, is the same method of torture that you prefer, isn't it?
No, the wheel. The rack in asking.
You've met Aster 3 times this year, Rob, and beaten them on all 3 occasions.
So we all know what's going to happen, don't we?
Mike Savage is lifting silverware.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Talk us through your team then, please, sir. The changes you've made. Makaleli came in for Wellens. You've taken the arrow off. Put a central arrow on Emerson and a forward arrow on Petit, with Jamina coming in for Charisma.
Well, Wellens got a 4 yesterday. And then, I know, right? So, and then I just felt I was a bit short. I was getting hammered in the midfield. So I thought if I get Makaleli back in there and then just stop him running on, get Petit a bit forwards, let Emerson do his thing. And then I think we should be all right, actually. I'm quietly confident.
You've continued to take the cup seriously. If you were, how do I say this correctly? If you had done slightly better in the domestic league this season, would you have taken the cups quite so seriously?
Yeah, just so if I can win 2 things, that then shuts Campbell up, doesn't it? Because I've won 2 and he's won 1. So lovely. Well, let's go to match centre then. As we've only got 2 games tonight, they will be played entirely on fast. Ian, have you got a score prediction, please?
Do you know, I think I got just about everything completely wrong last night, didn't I? And these are the 2 setups that I criticised the most. I'm thinking probably 6-all.
6-all, and then a wheel win by.
Well, Rob wins the wheel, doesn't he? That's just we accept that now, don't we? Rob owns the wheel. Rob is the wheel.
And Dimble, any score prediction from you, please?
3-3 with a PPP wheel victory.
So both guest commentators predict.
Why am I away again?
Because you finished higher in the table.
For fuck's sake.
The price of success. Same rules apply in terms of the free subs, unless there's a red card or injury, where we just take it under advisement at the time. Interesting to see how this pans out. I can only imagine the content that's going to come out if Triple P win the double tonight. The wheel is prepared in advance just in case.
Get it ready.
Roy Mackay comes forward before he gets in the way, goes out for a throw-in. Howard Brozek. A lift for Pulis with the save, though. This 2 legs, no, it's not.
Emerson on a yellow. The Emerson thing makes sense, doesn't it, getting that arrow to AM? Because I know Hodgie had, like, the only success he had with Emerson was DM or AM.
Yeah.
No one gets anything out of it at MC.
Correct, because I did the same one point, but with at DM, I didn't like him in AM at all. But Hodgie is much better at this than I am. From the right wing, Brozek goes flying over the bar. Half an hour played. I would argue that Triple P have been the better of the sides thus far. A terrible effort from Namina, though. Ryan says good luck to both sides. How excited are you all for Ryan to be back in charge of a club next year?
I'm not excited about the damage he's doing to my DMs or my WhatsApp going up every 3 seconds. He's absolutely relentless, isn't he? He's...
Just stick to your usual plan, Rob, of not replying to any of them ever, and you'll be fine.
Who's arguing, Fyfie? No one. Can anyone hear any arguing? Triple P score! And it's Brozek. Oh, it's been ruled out. Mackay had strayed offside.
Break.
Here comes Torres. Where's Brown? Landon Donovan. Chiesa, but goes over the bar, approaching half-time, still 0-0. 2 minutes to be added on at the end of this half. Chiesa, Candea, Donovan, and Aster take the lead. Landon Donovan just before half-time gives Aster the lead in the Shield final. Wow, that changes the game plan. I mean, I said Triple P had looked the better side, but Aster had actually created more chances.
Bollocks.
Pass completion similar. Tackles won. Aster doing a phenomenal job of the tackles and also dominating in the air. I've not seen Mike in the chat, but we'll very briefly look here. Wes Brown, the only player on a yellow card. We've got Raymer, the only player rating below a 7 and no real conditional issues to worry about. As for Triple P, Rob, that's a bit of a sickler just before half-time, isn't it?
It's just that textbook average, isn't it? You know. Let's get in the tactics, Stephen. Come on, let's get this sorted out. Come on.
Go on then, let's load the tactic. Ryan has replied. I send a question 24 hours later. You have read and haven't replied, so you're getting a WhatsApp. That's
fair. Right, let's get 3 up top. Yeah.
So that'll be like this.
Yeah, and then let's get Makalele off. Wellings on. Get the arrows on.
Makalele off.
Yeah.
Wellings on. Arrows adjusted to this.
Yeah, and Candela and Sally as well. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
We go to 60 then. Ian, do you think those changes for Triple P will have much of an effect?
How do you tell against this formation?
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
I'm going to go for a wee. I'll come back in time for the wheel.
Okay.
And back in a minute.
Torres, Candea, free kick. Edmundo deflects off the wall. And we've reached the hour mark. Dimble, what have you made of the game so far?
It's been great. I just want to see Edmundo tucked in a bit, don't you?
Well, just in there.
Yeah, that's what he did last night, isn't it?
And then he swapped Donovan over and he actually played Edmundo on this side. He also moved Chiesa central at this point in the game.
Oh, did it? Oh, whatever. Leave it. It's working. Mike is an absolute wizard. And a wizard.
Yeah, this is madness, isn't it? Like what?
As for yourself, Rob, 2 more changes available to you.
Let's get. Do you know what? Just for you, Stephen. Let's move Brozek right, please, and then get Inzaghi on for Mackay. Yeah, go on. And then get Romario on for Jarmina. Yeah, that's it.
Lovely.
Yeah, that'll do.
Ian sending you tactical advice, Rob, saying go 4-4-2.
Shut up.
So we've got Inzaghi and Romario coming on. Duggan saying Viva Mike Savage.
Madness, isn't it?
Dibble, in your experience, why do you think these sort of weird and wonderful formations that people have started using are working more consistently?
I don't know in general. I just know Mike, he's got some kind of spell over the game at times. But I have not got a clue. It should not work at all. There's just gaps all over the place. It doesn't make any sense.
20 minutes to go. Still Aster 1, Triple P 0. But here come the away side. It's Kandaya, Brozek. And they want a penalty. The referee waves play on. And now Edmundo comes forward. And Perez and Voigt. Torres goes out for a corner. And Gianna Keta. Sorry if I missed this, but every match in the cup has been won by the side lower in the league. Factually, not quite, because Triple P beat Rose and Triple P finished higher than Rose. 5 minutes left to play. Have Triple P got one last big chance in them? 3 minutes to be added on at the end of this cup final. We're into injury time now, and here come Triple P. Romario, Emerson, Kandaya offside. But here they come again. Alephropoulos does well to make the save, though. 2 minutes left to play. Chiesa. Last chance. Offside. And here they come on the counter. Oh, Romario, how is he?
Oh, no.
Alephropoulos with an incredible double save at the end. And Triple P do not take it to the wheel when it looked for the world that Romario was going to slot into the open net. Mike Savage's Aster Athletic finished bottom of the league table after whatever Alf did to them for the most part of the season. But he comes away with silverware ahead of his World Cup adventures with Australia. Landon Donovan's goal just before half-time, winning Aster Athletic the CMSL Shield. I mean, Rob, you look at those stats and it's hard to argue that they deserved it.
I think that if Mike Savage can play that formation and win 2 games on the bounce, I think with a bit of tinkering, I think we should all be a bit worried, lads, to be honest.
Dimble, thoughts on that at full time?
The wheel can't save you now, boy.
Oh, fuck off. Hope you lose. Actually, I don't know.
Solid ratings throughout for Aster. Voigt getting man of the match. It was Donovan, as we said, with the winner. Steve Wright saying, fuck the wheel, and Rob's pathetic effort at a performance. And then says, love you, Rob.
Thank you.
Ryan just says, oh, dear. That's what I've been saying for donkeys, Robert. Savage is rain, man.
Absolutely. Right. Well, congratulations, Mike. And but we all know that after all the hard work there. So, and on that note, good luck, gents. I'm going to leave because you don't need me here anymore. So
enjoy your toasty.
I haven't even cooked. I know. Bye.
Enjoy. Thanks for joining us, Rob. And that concludes the CMSL Shield, which means we can advance the game 24 hours and the end of season showpiece. Oh, does that say Wellens was out for a month? Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, as I was ticking over, Duggan won Manager of the Month for April. East Coast's Wilfred Balmer won Player of the Month. And East Coast's Mark Kerr won Young Player of the Month. But the big question is, were both available for tonight's squad selection? Bridges out for 10 days is a huge loss at the end of the season. Here we go then, boys. Are you ready? We start with Northern Burn. Ian, I gave you an intro that said you've seen everything there is to see in the Super League, yet you still get nervous. I know we had a brief chat yesterday and when you first logged in, but just how nervous have you been today?
Mate, if it's week 13 and I'm 9th and I'm playing against 10th, I'm nervous. That's just the way I am in this. You know, most of us, we live and we breathe it, don't we? And the times where I've been down the bottom or I've been mid-table has been a relief from the pressure cooker that has been top 6 awfulness, and feeling like absolutely horrible in this stage of the season is where you want to be. It's horrible, but it's where you want to be. Yeah, I don't like it, but I don't want to be down the bottom. I want to be involved. So here we go.
The big news for you was that you had a full complement of players available for tonight.
I had one decision. Well, I had 2 decisions to make. I have, Lawson, who gets messed about. He comes in, he comes out, and he always does really well. But Montero has been decent when he's come in and he has to play. So Montero goes in. I had to decide, where does Jeremy's play, where does Tomasi play after his 10 in the last match, and that was all I had to think about, because I can't think about the opposition. If I do, I get sucked into something, because what Dimble knows about this game, what he's forgotten about this game is probably more than I've ever known about this game. So my edge is only on what I know about the Super League, not about what I know about CMO 102. And so that's all I've got to hang my hat on, really.
So looking at the team as a whole then, you've got Shiotis in goal, Hipia, Montero, the chosen centre-back partnership, Carlos and Contra out wide. You've gone for Jeremy's in the hole, Tomasi joining Fiore in central midfield, Kuhl and skipper Rui Costa behind 28-goal Maxim Sigalko.
Well, I don't think it's been done before, but he finishes, regardless of what happens tonight, he finishes on better than a goal a game. I've not seen that before. In fact, I've only ever seen Sigalko any good before playing for me. So let's hope he's got one more game in him. Contrary to popular belief, I do have more than one player in my team. But yeah, enough said. Let's get up. Let's get on with it.
So at the end of the domestic season, by 1 goal, you were the joint top goal scorers alongside Fulchester. Your defensive record was nothing to sniff at. But as we said in the playoff preview, it's essentially the best attack versus the best defence. You've had a decent run. You said that Coast, or Dimble in particular, seems to have a measure at times. We can see from the results here. You haven't actually lost since the first one, but you have only won 1 in 4 this season.
Do you know? Again, I'm not one for blowing smoke up people's asses, but if you could have given me any team to play against in this match, I could have given you 12 teams that I'd rather play against in this match. Even, they are the only team in the league who've got a better defensive record than us. So I put in my tweet today, didn't I? I said that we play against the rock solid East Coast Cosmos, and that's how I feel about them. They're absolutely rock solid. They're an absolute unit, top to bottom, manager to player. And I don't know. Would I have chosen Dragons East Coast? Not sure. Probably just don't want to play.
Well, when I asked you yesterday, you said you'll take whoever.
I just don't want to play against these guys. They're an absolute unit.
An absolute menace.
They're strong.
Brett Hugo is in charge of this game. Reminder of the rules: golden goal, extra time if their scores are level at 90. Penalty shootout if scores remain level. 5 subs named as it is the playoffs. Dimble, let's bring you in here. And the big news, you had one player who there was a question mark over, and people could see there Thierry Henry with that orange injury, yet you've decided to risk him from the start.
Yeah, if he goes off injured after 10 minutes, that's better than him going off after 10 minutes off the bench. So yeah, for me, it's worth the risk. He's a massive player for me. The whole reason I kept him around for so long is because he's missed the money when it comes to the playoffs, usually.
He absolutely is.
Yeah,
You've
and
kept the.
I'm thinking around keeping him. I've had good offers for him. People are interested in him. One of the only players that people ask about, to be honest. But he's a key part of it.
You've kept the same tactic that did the job against Dragons. You've just altered the arrow setup. We've just seen Baumer and Kerr got awards. They are in the side. You mentioned Henri is money when it comes to playoffs, and Ian, who's already stood behind his chair. Look, Ian was saying yesterday at the opposite end of the pitch, Toldo is Mr. Big Game Player.
He is, yeah. I never like to praise a keeper because it's usually followed by a 5 or even a 4 in my case sometimes. But he's massive. He has been massive, and hopefully he'll play a massive part again tonight. I've got a few players like that. I think Campbell's the same. Vogel for me is one of the key men. And obviously, I was missing 3 of my kind of 5 most important players last night, and that's why I was so pleased with the way it went last night, really.
And again, something likening your selection picks to that of your opposition. His big question was how he solves the Tamazi Jeremy's issue with a 10 performance for Tamazi last time out when Jeremy's was unavailable. Bishkan did incredibly well for you in the last game. He keeps his place, and Vogel comes in for Paredes, who drops to the bench.
Yeah, both did really, really well last night. Bishkan with his, I think he got a 9. He's forced his way in. He probably wouldn't have started tonight. He's perhaps leaving the club in the window. He's a player that I really like, but I'm quite strong with similar kind of level of player in that position. So I've let him go, but he's there tonight to do a big job.
At times this season, both clubs, but particularly yourself, have been known to, should we say, stifle the opposition and not exactly be the gung-ho gunslingers of the league. Are you expecting a very tense, very tight, probably 1-0 off someone's testicle tonight to separate the sides?
I imagine so. Yeah, I imagine so. That's how it usually goes for me. It's nothing like intentional, but it does seem to go that way. It's because I don't concede many. I've not got a bad goal scoring record, but it's not.
No, not at all.
Not top end at all.
Well, we've got a dry day, 15 degrees. Good luck to you, Dimble. Good luck as well to Ian. Dimble, are you staying in your chair, or are you adopting a power stance for the final?
I'm going to sit right here and I'm going to make Ian squirm, hopefully.
Ian the other Ian, I should say, says good luck, boys, in the chat. Martin saying, let's go Burn. Send your predictions through. Let us know, who do you think is winning the Star for season 12? Duggan saying best of luck. Ryan Monlads, good luck. Let's kick this one off. 90 minutes and possibly more to decide. It was a top 2 in the domestic calendar, and they meet for the 3rd time in the playoffs. Coast, if you remember, in the second, because of the away goal, they were mere minutes away from being instantly in the final. But Burn got that injury time equaliser to go through, meaning Coast had to beat Dragons last night. Here's Carlos Sigalko, and it is already 1-0, his 29th goal of the season. And when you think that Anelka's well above 20 himself, but nowhere near the golden boot, it tells you everything you need to know. Ortega with a free kick deflects, corner kick, Bauer swings it in, Kuhl heads clear, and Rui Costa is able to do the job. And here comes Sigalko, fouled by Hoffland. Carlos to take the free kick. Vogel, but Tomasi wins it back in Jeremy's. Rui Costa, but over the bar from the skipper. 20 minutes played. Northern Burn 1, East Coast 0. Coast played their way back into it. Ortega, clearly a key man here. Half an hour now on the clock. Didier Gat, Ortega, Kerr. Montero gets in the way, but Vogel out to Baumer. And Bishkan, free kick given. Ortega, Henri! But Shiotis with the save, and it falls to Henri again. And in the end, Campbell fouls a Northern Burn player. Perfectly timed tackle by Vogel on Sigalko on the counter-attack. Evening, Jens. Welcome to the final. That's a long message, Rox. I'll read that at half-time. Corner kick to Coast. 39 on the clock. Tomasi heads clear. East Coast are putting a bit of pressure on the opposition at this stage. Henri, sliding tackle, free kick awarded. Ortega lines another one up, deflects off the wall. Hippier clears, and Sigalko again trying to just bully his way through the defence, but Hoffland having none of it. Ortega and a gat, and now Carlos. Ortega with a free kick. Hoffland to Marzi again in the way. And contra, Sigalko, Rui Costa, Sigalko! Good save from Toldo. And that should see us through. Oh, not quite yet. Tomazi, contra, this will be a dangerous time to get a second. But Coast managed to see it through, and that gets us to half time. If I could build a time machine with the ability to change one thing across the course of history, I would go back and slap the Belarusian researcher around the head when he submitted the Sigalko stats, says Rox. Fuck's sake, says Ryan. Loads of yellows for Burn there. I hope the title isn't decided by Maxim. Good player, Bishkan, says Jens. Ian, welcome back to the studio. Dimble said it was going to be a tight, nervy affair, and it's been the man of the season who is the difference so far.
Yeah, with 4 shots on goal and 3 on target, it felt like there was more going on, didn't it?
There was a lot of Tomazi getting blocks in all over the place.
It was. And I feel as though like East Coast had a whole lot going on, which just goes to sort of show what I was saying before the start of the game, that I don't want to play against them. I think they're a great team. They've always got something about them. They won't give an inch. So no chickens counted. Let's just crack on.
We'll bring up your stats there. Duggan said it looked like there was loads of yellows, but it's actually only Hippier and Fiore in the book. Mix of ratings. You've got Carlos there on a 9, but you've got Fiore and Contra rating 6s. Everyone else around the 7s and 8s. Condition-wise, all above 90. Are you considering changes, Ian?
Yeah, I think everyone will be really, really surprised to hear that I'm not changing anything. I think what I would say is that like that's probably about the low. That's the first time I would say we've had 4 discounting the keeper. That's the first time we've had 5 guys in single figures touching the ball this season. So
yeah.
It does kind of show what East Coast are all about in terms of like competing and being rock hard.
Let's go over to Dimroll. You find yourself behind at half time, but overall, just still feel optimistic you can get back in this?
We're not very good at being behind, really. So it's unlikely, and I'm really, really stuck as to what to do right now, because the way I'm set up isn't going to get 2 goals, I don't think, from here.
Okay. This is why you pay the big money to make the big decisions.
Yeah, I will make some changes, please.
Changes being made by Coast. And Thierry Henry's fitness is holding up thus far, so a decision well made.
Yeah, I won't. I'm not going to bring Larson on just yet, just because if I bring him on for someone else and then Henry limps off, then I'm in trouble. So if we go to like a 2-1-4, so push up Ortega up 1, take the arrows off the centre mids, push Biscam up to centre mid, alongside
like this.
Yeah, Vogel central, and then the wingers up as well, please, with arrows, and I'll have an arrow. Yeah, an arrow on Emery and Ortega as well. Yeah,
and Ortega.
Yeah, why not?
Cool. And is that it? No actual personnel changes?
No, I'll leave it for now, just because of Henry, really.
Okay.
Otherwise, Larson would have been on already. But yeah, I don't want to risk that too much right now.
He is saying, imagine if Sigalko was at your squad from the initial draft, you'd want the world for him. If you felt a bit crazy and decided to transfer him. Or Edgar Davids, it's the follow-up comment. Well, Ian has already returned. Changed to direct, Dimble, says Wooder.
Not when we have him.
Ian has already returned to his position. Good luck, gentlemen. 45 minutes away from deciding who gets the star. Let's play on. Here comes Sigalko. Hoffland gets a warning from the referee. Carlos to take the free kick. Takes it short to Kuhl. Now Ortega on the counter. Still going. Shottis with the save. Sell him out of the league, Ian. Baumer. Henri. Anelka. Oh, it's a corner kick. Shiotis continuing to do well in this final. 58 on the clock, approaching substitutes and tactical alterations. Sigalko just wide as we reach the hour mark. And Ian, as the home side, you are invited to make any alterations. First look at that. We saw Shiotis being discussed in the chat, rating a 9 at the hour mark.
Yeah, no changes, mate, please.
No changes for Bird. Dimble, you've got half an hour to save your season and save the star. Everyone rating 6s and 7s. Shiotis is clearly a difference maker at this stage.
He is definitely. Although the 6 and 7s, I don't think we're playing too badly. But I'm going to take a gap off for Larson and swap him with Ortega, please.
So Ortega going out wide. Didier Gat being replaced for Henrik Larsson. You happy with them that way round, Jeff?
Actually, yeah, can you swap them over? Larsson's been doing better on the left.
Okay. Anything else?
Sling a diagonal arrow on Kerr as well.
Like that?
Yeah, that's it. That's me as attacking you'll ever see me.
Dimble throwing everything at the equaliser. Ian saying it's like the Vieira lottery, but actually really making a significant difference to your team. I called this from the get-go. Yen saying best season one Shiotis ever in the Super League. And Duggan saying good move that dims. Hawaii Cosmos. Half an hour to play in this grand final. And Anelka, Shiotis with the save again. Sigalko, Rui Costa, Kuhl, Toldo with a fine save. Kuhl again, but Campbell with the block. Kerr picks it up. Larsson, Kuhl's book goes in the book. Free kick, which will take a step down. Henri hits the crossbar. Larsson, Tomazi in the way. 15 minutes left to play. Let's just slow it down a little bit more. Here comes Ortega. Anelka! Henri! Shiotis with the save. Allen floats it in, but Tomazi heads clear into the final 10. Coast throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this now. But are they leaving spaces for Byrne? Here's Carlos. Sigalko. Toldo does well. Sigalko collects it, but Toldo with a double save. 84 now on the clock as Sol Campbell looks to get it forward to Anelka. And he nods it to Henri, but Carlos gets in the way. And Henri holds him back and goes into the book. Free kick to Byrne. Montero plays it short. Bishkan tackles, knocks Kuhl to the floor. Free kick, and Carlos looks to line one up. 3 minutes to be added on. Free kick deflects off the wall. Tomazi picks it up. And Byrne just keep possession. Well, we mentioned at the start how... Sigalko, Toldo with a save. Mentioned how Byrne did it late against Coast in the last game. Are Coast going to do it late to Byrne and take it to extra time? No is the answer. Northern Byrne have won the Super League. Ian Edwards collects his second star, and it was tight. It was very, very even, but Northern Byrne just about hang on there. Ian's gone out of shot, so Dimble, I'll come to you first. Commiserations. It's been an amazing season for East Coast, but in the end, just didn't quite have enough. You've met Shiotis on probably his most impressive day in the Super League ever.
Yeah, it's gutting, obviously. Congratulations to Ian. I think he's been the best team over the 29 games, so yeah, he deserves it. It's annoying because it's Sigalko again, rather than anyone else has scored. and probably Ian's probably have someone else score just so we don't get in the comments as well. But yeah, congratulations, absolutely gutted, but it's not a bad performance again. It's the same performance I put in against Ian like 5 times this season.
Yep.
Once I've won and twice I've lost, so the important ones I lost.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Ian, welcome back and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. That was really, really a bad watch. There was nothing in it, and I was already thinking that, like, what I was going to say if I lost it, because I didn't feel like we were the better team by much. So if we were the best team this season, then we've certainly beaten the second best team this season without a doubt. Possibly a team with a shout for being the best team. I have pretty good luck with goalies at the business end of the season. That was my main concern this year, was drawing Chiotis. Stuck with him after a load of trials and realised he would probably do the job for me. And, you know, I look at, I'm imagining Macca's face now as, like, you know, the grand finals decided on a Sigalko 1-0. But then again, you know, it takes the right manager to get the right player firing. Anybody could have gone and tried to sign the guy. So bring your comments on. And if anyone wants to have a conversation about manager of the year, my DMs are open.
But it has to be said. Do you know what? As finals go, you two wouldn't have enjoyed it because you were in it. But as a neutral, I actually enjoyed it because it was tense, because it was tight, and it went all the way to the wire. Again, commiserations, Dimble. I know you've come so close, and any other year probably would have done it. But this year, Sigalko 29 goals, as Chiotis making save after save after save. Tomazi throwing his body on the line. It just wasn't to be. Ian, you join an elusive club of people with multiple Super League wins now. And I couldn't think of a nicer guy to achieve that with. If I remember rightly, you were the winner the first year I was chairman. And so there's something fitting about you being the winner the last year I'm chairman as well. So congratulations.
I would say, mate, I mean, there's like certain things that we can do, certain things that some of us can't do, but the things that you've done for this league, most people can't do. So
this is that's very kind, but this isn't about me. This is your moment. So one last round of applause for season 12's champion, Ian Edwards of Northern Burn. Congratulations, pal. Can't wait to see the design for the second star. Gents, it's been an absolute pleasure to oversee that tonight. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for everyone who's joined us in the chat. It's been great across the whole season since we came over to StreamYard, being able to have this chat feature up, which was slightly better and quicker, crucially, than YouTube. It's been great having you along, and again, just to reiterate, thank you for everything during my time as chairman. But for the last time, there will be the stream with Mike with Australia, but before the new season starts, I'll announce the date for that soon. But for the last time officially, thank you very much from me. Congratulations to Northern Burn, and good night.